Welcome to the cross remains, where his love endures forever. My name is Michael, and today we journey into the life of a titan of faith, a man whose spiritual legacy continues to guard and guide countless souls, Saint Benedict of Nursia. Discover how this humble monk forged a powerful spiritual weapon, the Medal of Saint Benedict, a profound symbol of divine protection against the forces of evil. Born around 480 AD in Nursia, Italy, Benedict emerged into a world teetering on the brink of chaos. The mighty Roman Empire was crumbling, barbarian invasions were rampant, and spiritual confusion clouded the hearts of many. It was into this tumultuous era that God raised up a beacon of light. Disillusioned by the moral decay of Rome, young Benedict, still a student, chose a radical path. He abandoned his studies and the comforts of his aristocratic family, seeking solitude and a deeper communion with God. His journey began not in grand cathedrals, but in the desolate quiet of a cave. For 3 years, in the cave of Subiaco, Benedict lived as a hermit. It was a period of intense spiritual struggle and purification, where he wrestled with temptations of the flesh and the devil's cunning deceits. Yet, it was here, in profound solitude, that he laid the foundations for a life of unparalleled holiness. News of his holiness spread, and soon disciples gathered around him, eager to learn from his wisdom. However, leading others on the path of virtue was not without its perils. Envy and malice often lurked in the shadows, as we shall see. At Vicovaro, a community of monks impressed by his sanctity asked Benedict to be their abbot. He warned them of his strictness, but they insisted. True to his word, Benedict sought to bring order and discipline, but his reforms were met with fierce resistance by some. Their resentment festered into a murderous plot. They offered him a cup of poisoned wine. But as Benedict made the sign of the cross over the chalice, it miraculously shattered, revealing their treachery. Undeterred, but understanding the depth of their malice, Benedict mercifully departed from Vicovaro. He knew his mission was not to force obedience, but to cultivate genuine sanctity. His journey led him to Monte Cassino, a desolate mountain where pagan worship still lingered. It was here, atop the ruins of a pagan temple, that he would establish the spiritual fortress that would become the cradle of Western monasticism. With unwavering faith, Benedict and his monks cleared the land, destroyed pagan idols, and erected a monastery dedicated to God. It was here that he composed his renowned rule, a masterpiece of spiritual wisdom that balanced prayer, work. The Rule of Saint Benedict became the blueprint for monastic life across Europe, shaping Western civilization, preserving knowledge, and evangelizing vast regions during the Dark Ages. It fostered stability and spiritual growth amidst the turmoil. But Benedict's spiritual authority was not just for guiding monks. He was also granted extraordinary power by God to confront the forces of evil directly. His encounters with demonic influence were frequent and dramatic, and it is from these struggles that the Medal of Saint Benedict finds its origins. One notable incident occurred when a jealous priest named Florentius attempted to poison Benedict with a loaf of bread. As Benedict blessed the bread, a raven, a creature often associated with divine messengers, flew down and carried it away, saving him from certain death. In another instance, a demon appeared to a monk in the guise of a beautiful woman, attempting to lure him away from his vows. Saint Benedict, by the power of Christ, saw through the deception and expelled the evil spirit. These and many other encounters underscore Benedict's divinely granted authority over evil. He understood that spiritual warfare was a constant reality, and God provided him with the means to combat it. The Medal of Saint Benedict is not a charm or a magical amulet. It is a sacramental, a visible sign of an invisible reality, imbued with the Church's blessing and empowered by the intercession of Saint Benedict. Its efficacy comes from our faith and God's grace, not from the medal itself. Let's delve into the powerful symbols and inscriptions found on this medal. On the front, we see Saint Benedict holding a cross in one hand and his rule in the other, symbolizing his devotion to Christ and his foundational role in monasticism. At his feet are a poisoned cup and a raven with a poisoned loaf, recalling the attempts on his life. Above the cup and raven are the words, Crux Sancti Patris Benedicti, the cross of the Holy Father Benedict. And surrounding Saint Benedict is the powerful inscription, Eius in obitu nostro presentia muniamur. May we be strengthened by his presence in the hour of our death. A plea for his intercession at our most critical moment. Now turn to the reverse side, dominated by a large cross. The cross is the central symbol of our faith, the ultimate weapon against evil, for it was on the cross that Christ triumphed over sin and death. Along the vertical bar of the cross are the initial letters of the phrase CSSML, standing for Crux Sacra Sit Mihi Lux. May the Holy Cross be my light. And on the horizontal bar, we find NDSMD, for Non Draco Sit Mihi Dux. Let not the dragon be my guide. A powerful renunciation of Satan and his deceptions. Surrounding the cross, starting from the upper right, are the initials of the famous exorcism formula. VRSNSMV, SMQLIVB. These stand for Vade Retro Satana, Nunquam Suade Mihi Vana, Sunt Mala Que Libus, Ipse Venena Bibus, which translates to Begone Satan, never tempt me with your vanities. What you offer me is evil. Drink the poison yourself. And finally, at the very top, above the cross, is the single word Pax, meaning peace. The peace that only Christ can give, a peace that triumphs over all evil. The Medal of Saint Benedict is a powerful reminder of God's protective hand and Saint Benedict's intercession. It is used by the faithful for various purposes: protection against evil, temptations, and dangers, promoting peace and good relations, and even as a blessing for the sick. To properly use the medal, it must be blessed by a priest with the special blessing found in the Roman ritual. It can then be worn, carried, placed in homes, or buried in foundations as a constant invocation of divine protection. Saint Benedict's life was a testament to the power of faith and perseverance in the face of adversity. He built not just monasteries, but a civilization, and left us with a spiritual weapon, the medal, that continues to combat the darkness in our world, reminding us that with Christ, and through his saints, victory is always possible. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the profound legacy of Saint Benedict and his powerful medal. If this video brought you peace or deepened your understanding, please consider helping us spread these eternal truths. Like this video to support our mission. Share it with those who might find solace in Saint Benedict's story, and subscribe to The Cross Remains for more content that illuminates the beauty of our Catholic faith. Don't forget to ring the bell icon to be notified of our latest videos, because His love endures forever.